And you found the other disc then?
Yes, it was in the recorder.
Okay. Yeah, I got to thinking about that on the way over. It's like...
No, it was in the recorder.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I thought, too.
Yeah.
So, that was it was more an exploratory rather than accusatory about.
Oh, yeah, no.
That question. What'd you do with the disc?
This is the episode where Bob messes up.
That can mess everything up.
Of course, last week was the podcast where I messed up and forgot to turn the microphony on.
So that was no longer a podcast. After that, it was a great hangout.
Great conversation.
We had a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that. Yeah.
Sad. I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Bob Nelson. I'm Tracey White.
I was going to keep that up through all the intros. I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Welcome aboard.
And bye. Hi. Bye.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
Well, all right. Me making the dead cat sounds as we start tonight. And...
See, look, that little meter's going.
Look,
the
everything's
numbers
working.
Are going. It was formatted.
Okay, well.
You know.
Oh, my soul. Well, hey, here we are in the middle of a hot summer. Today finally got cool. I was happy about that.
Yeah.
But here we are around this table for the really last time around this table because we're not taking this one out.
Okay.
Although, you know what we should do with all the various stains of coffee, this should make a great mural that we use every Sunday in honor and memory of Tracey White's time with us. All right, so let's go around the table. How's everybody doing?
I'm
Jake?
not dead yet.
Where are you going?
I'm good. It was a tough day at work today. We're all of a sudden crazy busy, which is nice to have that kind of, going on versus the, I feel like every Monday I'm like, it work's really slow. But not anymore. Well, at least not this week. But it's a whole different set of problems. So, I was on my feet most of the day, running around the yard, getting stuff done, trying to keep things organized and, limit any mistakes that might happen. Just trying to get stuff lined up. And then at the end of the day, there's about 15 minutes left before I locked up the office and walked out the door, and I sat down and felt like I was just gonna fall asleep right there in my chair. But I didn't, so no nap for me. But, okay. Yeah. So, it was a good day. We got a lot coming up, so work's going well. Other than that, the heat this weekend with both the home garden and our garden plot. I was a little worried about that, just making sure we were watering properly and enough too. But went out there last night. Everything seemed fine, except the radishes that I sowed last week are still not popping up. And then the carrots that I sowed 2 weeks before are still not popping up. So a lot of that has to do with the heat though too. Carrots and radishes typically grow better in cooler weather.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But
I did snap a photo of that rabbit who was in the garden inside.
Yeah.
And he didn't, Bob says he's seen it go into the hole, but it wasn't going in the hole. It just went through the fence, just like nothing.
Yeah.
It's like there was no fence at all.
I know, it's crazy. They dive right through it. And the openings in the fence are not very, very big, but they doesn't stop them at all.
It's just a little rabbit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, I'm good. Glad I'm here. Kind of bummed this is going to be the last one for a little while, I guess, but
Yeah, it won't be too long.
We'll figure it out.
In this format, and this look, and everything, we won't be in this room.
Yeah.
It's already seems sad. There's an echo in here. Echo.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning it won't be my room technically anymore. So
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll get you in a minute. All right, over here is Bob Nelson, who is back from the dead.
Yes.
No, I mean,
well, are you feeling all right?
Finally, yesterday, I don't know, took a long nap and finally felt decent. Whatever it is, it's not contagious, and I'm fairly certain it's just I'm allergic to work stress. So, because it has been a little bit frightful during the day job these days. So, and it's just, and I think it's been for such a long time that we've been having so many problems that, yeah. So I'm feeling better today. I'm still going, I'm supposed to go to the doctor last Thursday, show up 12 minutes late, and at 10 minutes they cut you off and you're out. So I'm going tomorrow. Yeah, just to get some blood work done, see if there's something underlying, and besides what I think it is, which is, again, allergic to stress, because stress sucks.
Yes, it does. It will kill you. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly. So, but I've got a blood pressure cuff at home, and I know I'm okay. I'm a little elevated compared to what I normally am, but I'm still better than most people. Under 120, under 120 and just over 80 usually. So it's not bad,
Yeah,
but it's
that's not bad at all.
That's
yeah.
really
Trust me.
good.
But
I would kill for those, man.
it used to be like 115 over 70, So that's
about right. Yeah.
Lovely. It was what the one doc said. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, doing good. I was so happy Steve showed up yesterday. That was fun.
Yeah.
Got me out of breaking down everything because I talked with him the entire time. Thanks, Steve.
That's good. That's good to see.
right there.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah, and I didn't leave the school until I think it was right after 12:30.
Oh, wow.
Because we chatted so long. Because it's been a while since I caught up with him. So,
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. So overall, okay.
Very
Overall,
good.
yeah. Mhm.
Awesome. Now, Tracy,
Hey, what's up?
talk it up, man.
There's
This is the last 10.
Nothing going on. Nothing at all.
How you doing?
Good, good.
All the house stuff is kind of done except
It
for
is.
loading the truck and moving to Beverly.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, the closing on the buyer's side, our sides, we've already signed everything, and 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
We'll be looking for that big fat check in the bank account. Because that's the only way we can afford the house down there.
Yeah, that's great.
So, well, yeah. But mom and dad are coming to town. I think they'll be here on Thursday, which is cool. If y'all didn't know, the memorial for Julie's dad is on Friday. It's at 3, so it's hard to kind of avoid having to work unless you take time off work or whatever. But they're coming up for that, and then they're going to go spend the rest of the weekend at. Actually, they might. I think Sunday afternoon they're going to go up to the mountains and spend a few days up in the mountains.
Nice.
So getting away from it all.
Oh, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I was talking to Dad the other day. He was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about it, but I teach a class on Sunday," and I'm like, "Dad, just take
a day.
Take the time. Y'all need some downtime. Take the time." So they're taking some time.
Nice.
And then next week we'll be packing up and
Heading out.
heading out. Yeah.
You'll be back to visit.
Yes, we will. We will.
Finish the sentence. It sounded pretty.
You'll be back.
The personal struggle with our family now is Kathy's wrestling with the fact that we'll be away from her mother, who is in the final stages, right? And so that's gonna weigh heavy on her. But we know that we can make it back.
Oh, yeah. Short flight.
Yep. From
You gotta get to the airport first.
Austin is closest, so we fly from Austin.
Yeah, so that's good.
No big deal. But Johnny, how about you? How you doing?
I'm doing okay today. This is right at that point where I'm at the summer where I've just gotten to, finally, starting to get back in a groove. I'm getting things done. I'm getting some rest, and except for, Saturday night, we were talking about that a moment ago, but, and it's time to go back to the S word place.
The sword.
School.
Did I hear 2
Sorry,
weeks is what Leona told her kids?
Don't make it any worse.
I think it was
Why are you
3
doing
weeks.
that? 31st is when we're supposed to report back. So to be back at the school in July,
That's horrible.
Yeah.
it's not right.
This sounds blasphemous.
Yeah, so we've had to rework, and I was talking with you, Tracy, about this a few minutes ago, but we had to change our schedule. And again, I haven't been able to meet Bob either, so everything I say tonight probably is going to be news to Bob. But
It's been.
yeah, no worries. But we were going to go the very last week of July into August, going to Michigan because Matthew and Danielle. New baby on the way, and that's happening this Wednesday. It's a C-section scheduled, so so we were going to do that. But now, when they kind of shifted the schedule, and they sometimes do this. It's like I'll lock it in through the whole year, through the next December of school, using the district site and everything, right? Not just our school. Everything's going well. They did this last year too. And then it's somewhere in June, end of June, 1st of July, I look at it again, wait a minute, they changed something. And they did that this time too. So anyway, no big deal. It's just everything got moved back a little bit. So it's going to affect our schedule around here. But it's been kind of fun this past week. I really kind of started to try and get back into the rhythm of doing a little working out and getting back on a morning schedule where I'm doing a lot of stuff like that. So that's been great. I've been inch by inch knocking things off of my to-do list. So unfortunately, my to-do list still goes way down. But it's better than it was. All right, so enough about me. What do you guys want to talk about on this, the last of Tracey White's gathering around the table with us for a while? See, here's what's going to happen, though. I will tell you this. I didn't give you a chance to answer, but you're going to come back, visit, you're going to be seeing your family, or something's going to be going on, and you'll join us for that podcast.
I hope so.
And that'll be a lot of fun.
That would be really great.
Yeah. All right, so now, what'll it be? What'll it be?
That's a good question. So the garden, we've done zucchini. We're getting a lot of that.
It's like the one thing that continues.
What?
It just works. Week after week,
Yeah.
there's zucchini.
Zucchini. Yeah, we have. I was telling Johnny yesterday. It's funny because we have 5 plants at the community plot, and we've gotten like dozens of zucchini so far. I have 2 zucchini plants at my house, and I haven't had a single one
Oh,
of them yet at all. I don't know what the difference is.
It's that soil there.
There's something about it, I guess. Like, but out in the community garden, it's like clay, and at my home planters, I fill it with like nice topsoil and manure. And, you give it all of what you need, and then it's just it's weak. But, last Sunday, we harvested garlic. So there is tons of garlic that I'll be bringing next week for people to enjoy. And then we're going to save the biggest ones because that's what we use to replant
The next one,
for next season.
So great.
And we got a lot of the really big ones too. Still, we got more than we had last year. So what's really interesting though, if you look at one of them with garlic, you plant them in the fall because when it's cold, that's what causes the clove to split into all the other individual cloves, and then those get big. And then you can split that up, plant each clove, in the winter it splits, whatever. One of the big garlic cloves that we planted last fall did not split, so we have a baseball-sized clove of garlic, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I was looking at it going, that doesn't look right, because it almost looks like an onion bulb, but it's a garlic bulb.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do bunnies and prairie dogs like garlic?
No, most plants or most animals don't. So yeah, we just let's just grow nothing but garlic. next year. Yeah.
The human animal likes garlic.
Yeah.
Well, it was so good. I mean, I was mentioning this under the tree yesterday, but yeah, Leona took some of the garlic from the garden, some of the zucchini, chopped it up, sauteed it all up. There's probably a little olive oil or something, but man, that was good.
Do you guys use the onion that you took home too?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know those two were a part of it. It was really good. And again, I'm not a big zucchini fan most of the time, but man, this was
There's
awesome.
something about it.
Magic garden.
Fresh out of a garden, we grew it with our own hands.
Yes.
It makes it taste better. We keep getting compliments on the sign too. So
Oh, cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's nice having that out there. A lot of people.
It was a big investment of time and energy and generosity on your part, and I'm so glad that even though it's a bit of a risk because we didn't ask,
Right.
it was better to show, and then they're like, "Oh, they look so nice." I'm glad that it's that they like it and it's cool that we're there with that.
Yeah. And Annette was talking with me yesterday. She asked how to go about getting involved in getting a plot at the community plot too, because she was curious about the plot next to ours that nobody seems to be attending this year.
yeah.
She's like, well, what if I get a hold of that one? And I told her about how we had the opportunity, but we opted not to because we thought someone was going to be there.
Yeah, we thought
And now it turns out,
list.
yeah, exactly. It turns out nobody's there. So I was talking with her about it, and it's like, if we could have, I guess at this point, it's like, well, if we had 2 plots, that's potentially twice as much. I mean, it's twice as much work, but twice as much stuff. It depends on what we plant, but but she was talking about how she kind of was interested in sort of, heading up one of the plots too. I'm like, all for it, that'd be awesome, yeah. So maybe we'll have a second sign out there. Who knows? But but yeah, I mean that's next season's type thing I suppose to think about, but.
It's a little late to start now.
It's been cool. I'm waiting for those grapes to be ready. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Grapes?
There's grapes that can grow on the east side of the gazebo out there.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's grapevines, and they've already started. All the fruit's there. They just need to ripen now.
They weren't there last year.
No, they were.
They just
I brought home a bunch last year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, last year I saw them 1 week, and I was like, ooh, and I grabbed a couple, but they were a little sour still. I was like, these will be ready next week. And then the next week I went out there, and someone had picked all of them. Like 100% of them.
Wow.
But yeah, keep an eye on that. If you go out there sometime in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay. Once again, our garden news segment.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be back with more talk about compost. Non-garden. Well, anyway, that's awesome though. I love it. I love it. The garden endures, man. It continues. All right, well, I will start then real fast with, I had 2 things I've got to fix from yesterday.
Okay.
And like I said, after watching the message, my general take was, there's a good message in there somewhere. But then I was a little around the world on it.
But the joke.
It's
That's
clear. So where I messed up was the telling of the story. Here's how it was supposed to go. There's a guy who's trying to share Jesus with a friend, and he says to the friend, man, have you been sanctified? And the guy is like, what? He said, well, have you been washed in the blood? It's like, oh, what? What are you talking about? Well, man, I mean, have you been saved? He's like, what? Saved from what? What are you talking about? Man, I'm trying to tell you the good news. What's that? You're going to hell. I was like, oh, what's the bad news? That's how I was supposed to tell it, right? And I messed it up. I got the line.
Still got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
The idea is still funny, but it would have been so much better if I'd done it right. And that was, again, I was up till midnight, and the synapses were not firing as they should. They're on a given normal Sunday, I don't think I would have made that mistake.
Yeah.
As soon as I did, I knew it was off. But, probably, and this is, again, what you should do whenever there's an issue in public speaking, whether you're leading a meeting or whatever, quickly acknowledge and move forward, right? Because it's a bigger deal in your head than it is to everybody else. And that one was such a big one to me. I think I lingered a little too long before moving on. The other thing I said that I did not catch, but my wife did, as she was watching it, because, she was with the kids, so she was watching the video this afternoon with me. And I'm reviewing it again. And, this isn't a great one. I'm telling her. Oh, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And she said it was great. But it wasn't what I wanted it to be, I'll leave it that way. But it was okay. A lot of the stuff is there. I said, oh my gosh. So I was talking about how the criticism from the Pharisees and the scribes was he's eating with tax collectors and sinners, Jesus, right? And so I'm making a big honking to do about that and how we should be, badge of honor. Someone is whining to us because we're eating with sinners and tax collectors. But the phrase I said, after I had made that clear, when I was as I was continuing on, I said, he was eating tax collectors. He was eating sinners and welcoming tax collectors. That's even not quite right, but it was more like he was eating and welcoming sinners and tax collectors.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he was eating the sinners? Oh no.
Comments, they save lives.
Jeez. Eating sinners and tax collectors.
That's one way to deal with
It's
it.
like
I guess.
that. It must be from that Godzilla +1. I mean, tasty. Minus one, not +1.
Such a
Minus
good
one.
movie.
-1.
It was a good movie. Well, anyway, that's my story, and that's all I got for that. It was fun, by the way, speaking of that word I said earlier that I have to go back to, seeing 3 of those kids who came wandering up, and those are good boys. They're kind of out. Yeah, I see them together, and I'm thinking they're getting into trouble. And so as they came up to me, I was like, "Hey, come here, guys. Hey, man, you having a good summer?" And they were like, yeah, it's good. Yeah, good to see you. So you guys want a bottle of water? Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, thanks. Okay, all right. Yeah, come on over here. So you guys want a donut? No, thanks. We're good. So what you guys doing? I mean, well, we're about to have a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
He said yesterday we made like $70 or something.
Nice. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing. This is good. You're being industrious. You're being smart. It's a hot day. You're gonna sell. You're gonna pull some heartstrings maybe and give. So that's where they were going. So they're actually in the message video. You see them walking and making their way.
Well, they set up just
Yeah, they set
right
up.
there.
Yeah, they did.
We stopped by and got some lemonade.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, we gave them a little extra,
Oh, nice.
just to bless them.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of fun, seeing those
Nice.
guys. And I see those boys too, and I think, I tell Leona often, now her life calling, she's like one of the best teachers on the planet. I mean, there's no, I've seen her in action, and the kids love her. They learn, they do great. She's just like the perfect teacher. Me, at the school is kind of funny because that's not my calling, right?
Yeah.
I'm a pastor, man. It was something I did to get us into the school, to meet people, to actually get involved in lives. So it's been a very, very good thing. A lot of good things, as you guys know, have come about from me being at the school, but that's not what I went to school for or have done for decades, right? So the things that people say nice things about me at the school, and this is from my walk with Leona last night. Like, yeah, the reason that they like me there and that I do well with some students, and how even the counselor on that one time said, you know what, Johnny, you deal with them. You're better at de-escalating than I am. You're the counselor. I'm not the counselor. Anyway, but all of that, I says, it's because I'm a pastor. I'm a pastor there.
That's
doing pastor things, right? So I know how to deal with people.
Yeah.
But anyway, but seeing those boys reminded me, there have been a number of times along the way that I've been able to speak into a kid's life, and I walked away from that going, okay, God, I see that this was important. I said this to this one particular kid, and he did something, without even going into the details, what I said to him in one moment while everybody was leaving, I went, you're a good man. I'll say John. You're a good man, John.
Mm-hmm.
Said, always be a good man, John. Always be a good man. And I said to him one time something along the lines, hey, just remember, because I knew some things were with his family, drugs and all kinds of stupid things happening in this kid's life. And I just was able to say, hey, John, you know what? Remember, your past does not define your future. Where you come from never determines where you're going. It's that kind of thing. And I know, being 3rd grade, 4th grade, somebody saying something like that in my life, it's a powerful thing if they're really listening and they respect the person saying it. So seeing those boys just kind of brought all that back. I'm like,
And that's
all right, maybe
that's
one more year. Well,
preaching. It's not proselytizing, but it's preaching, right? I mean, it's still it's ministry.
No, it's ministry,
That's
for
exactly
sure.
what it is.
Yeah,
And that's
no
a great thing.
expectation of return.
And you have a gift for that. Yeah, my gift to these kids would be, remember, wherever you go,
There you are.
there you are.
All right, Buckaroo. Buckaroo Banzai quote for the night. Come on, for the win, I say.
That was for Michael.
That was for Michael.
Yeah.
That's funny, and I don't know, Jake, if you even know what we're talking about. There's that movie that came out in 1984, maybe 83, called Buckaroo Banzai Across the Fifth Dimension.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Okay, yeah.
Eighth dimension.
And is it eighth?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
You haven't seen it?
It's been so
Haven't
long.
seen it.
Well, you know what? We're not gonna get off on this. This is such a tangent. It's one of those deals where they throw you into the story and you don't know really what's going on, and you kind of have to sort of figure it out as you go. They don't explain anything, and it's just goofy and it's funny. It's never the movie I would have thought that my son Michael and I would have bonded a bit over. But he thinks it's hilarious. He loves it. We actually went to see it at Alamo Draft House Theater a couple of years ago.
That would have been fun.
But that line, yeah. What'd you say?
I've only seen it on VHS.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it since then.
I've seen it a number of times. And it makes me laugh every time. But just because I understand more about it, it's like, this is really goofy.
Yeah.
But I understand the story better than I did when I saw it in 1984 back in the theater. You're right. All right, strange tangent. I like it. But anyway, but that's a line from that. Where it goes,
Gotcha.
Well, you don't have to be mean. Just remember, wherever you go, there you are. Anyway, don't lie. Next, what else shall we talk about on Tracy's last podcast? You brought in Buckaroo, man.
There is part of the message yesterday talking about sheep and how the shepherd will leave his 99 to go find the one.
Yes.
And there is, and you touched on this a little bit, but just to go a little farther into it. Sheep are one of the only livestock animals that cannot be driven. Like cows can be driven, with if you can push them. You can have a horse in the back and on either side and guide them the way that they go. You can do it with horses, you can do it with all sorts of other livestock animals, buffalo, whatever, but sheep have to be led because sheep are so incapable of fending for themselves. If they're lost, and they will not try and find their own food or water or anything, they will just literally die right where they are.
Wow.
And so I think that's the fact that we're compared to sheep and God as our shepherd really is a powerful thing when you think about it in that context, because without him,
nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
You're completely lost. We're completely hopeless and helpless, and we don't know what to do. And we really can't take care of ourselves,
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just
And we
thought
can't
that.
be arrogant either, and
That'd be bad.
oh, that was something I wish I had not done. I forgot about that. You made the noise. I said sheep, and I went, man. It was like a reflex. Once again, I need some sleep. Oh, it's bad. Oh well, I appreciate everybody's patience. I've been at this a long time, friends.
See, that's why
A
that's
day or
such
two where I'm a little off.
why it's such a great comparison, because without following God,
Yeah, we're all sheep without a
just
shepherd.
you're gonna wander and die.
And there's some really interesting ties to that. This wasn't part of your message, but one of the things that Jesus also says about his people, that when he calls them by name,
Yes.
they will recognize his voice. And so I was reading a book that was talking about shepherds, and this author was recounting somebody else's tale, and this guy was watching all these shepherds go in the same area over in the Jordan to get their sheep watered and and a little bit of grub that was around and whatnot. And then all the sheep were mixing together, and then the shepherds each called their sheep, and they all went to that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Exactly.
Wow.
So they gave a definite bigger. It's like, okay, we may be stupid, but at least we know who we're following.
Yeah. Well, that makes all the difference. I mean, the sheep being with their shepherd, they have all they need. I mean, that is the idea. And it's interesting how that terminology and description isn't just New Testament Jesus. It's Old Testament being brought in. And then you start looking for it, there's a ton of references to sheep and shepherd and outside the fold and wolves and that imagery is used throughout the Bible. So, but that's interesting. I'm thinking next time in the next sermon, I'm going to pause at each point and go, do you guys have any illustrations you could share? Maybe I should do that before I that would make more sense. Like, Jake, who knew you? You knew so much about sheep. Did you used to have some sheep? You used to?
No,
you
it's just
you just
Looked
learned
it up.
I like looking that kind of stuff up. Well, I grew up not with sheep, but my grandfather, my mom's dad, lifelong farmer, always had cattle for the most part. He was a dairy farmer with my mom growing up. We would spend summers out there. We would help out with local pig farms. Like my older brother and I spent a little bit of time working in hog barns and stuff, counting little piglets as they're running off the trucks coming through. Been around horses a ton. And then the sheep thing, that actually came from what at least initially sparked that is on the intro to a movie called American Gangster, which I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. It's a very good movie, but it's a little dark. But but one of the head mobster is actually the intro of the film is him talking about sheep. That's kind of shit. It can't be true. And then you look it up and go, oh man, it's true. Look at that. Yeah, all right.
Wow.
But I think when you know that, and there's we're not compared to really any other livestock animal. We're potentially the dumbest ones.
Well, see, now I will say this. I used to say that all the time. I was in a dumb sheep bar. But apparently, they're not really so dumb as they are limited in what they can do. Mm-hmm. So they're actually smarter, but it's still about what you could say is dumb. Sitting there until you starve.
Right, they lack survival
dumb.
instincts. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. For an animal to not have that ability to take care of themselves. Yeah.
As I began to as I was preparing to do that, I just saw that was a thing, like a modern understanding of sheep. I was like, I'm not going to go into all that. It's just I'm not even going to say it at all. So that's what I decided. But yeah, I usually do say something about how dumb they are. In fact, that was in my original notes. They're kind of dumb. But I didn't say it.
Kind of in that realm, they can't be that dumb if they know who they're supposed to follow.
Right. Yeah.
So, admittedly, if you have them going down a trough, one by one, you put a thing in, everybody starts jumping, you take it out, they're still jumping.
Lemmings. Oh, well.
I think that's a good illustration of us.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to speak to the idea, there's a lot of turmoil and stuff going on in life. I don't think I made that as clear as it could have been. I wanted to help everybody understand that all of the horrible things that happen in our world, first of all, they're the result of people, right? It's people who do bad things, who think bad things, who are influenced. You could ultimately say, Satan, devil made him do it. Well, we all choose to do things, right? So understanding that, knowing that actually the only real solution doesn't mean you don't enact laws and that kind of stuff where you can help protect families and cities and things, but ultimately that the way that it ultimately pans out is in the human heart. And speaking of human hearts, what do we have here? What? Is this because of Tracy's last hurrah with our podcast?
Probably, yeah.
Can you say hi?
Say hi to the camera.
Here's our Compass Church model.
Thank you, Harper.
Thanks, Harper. You're the best.
Thanks, Kat.
Thanks, Kathy. Come on.
Just walk past it. It won't get you. It's just a mop.
Our Compass Church model for have a cookie, man. Let's chew it for everybody. This is ceremonial. I don't think she intended it for this, but it's perfect.
We've been talking agricultural. We should probably go technical and not technological IT stuff.
Maybe we should.
Make sure you delete your cookies while you're at it.
Yep, you shouldn't. You shouldn't have. A toast, a cookie to Tracey White, courtesy of Kathy White and Harper.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. There's some good. You're still warm. Too.
Oh, yeah. There's a fine texture. There's a hint of the chocolate from the chip. It's very tasty. We've got to keep it going around.
We have still food in our cupboards, right? And we're doing our best to run out of everything. But some of that was cookie mix stuff. Yeah, and so I'm sure that's where this came from.
Happy for it.
The ride is both challenging but delicious.
What a lovely
Everybody now.
bouquet.
We've been doing.
Bob, your take on the cookies for the evening?
Yeah, there's a wonderful ratio of chocolates to cookie.
A subtle hint of eggs. Flour.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
This is lovely. I don't even know what we're talking about. I don't even care anymore.
Great.
We're having the cookie.
Thanks, Kathy. We're done now. It's like nap time.
We have so many options for what we're going to call tonight's podcast. Oh, well.
I'm sure you'll find it.
I'm sure
The
I'll figure it out.
one.
The one.
The one.
One cookie to rule them all.
Oh yeah, that was good. And there's still 4 more left for me. So
Sorry, before we start sticking the phone.
yeah, we'll do
Oh, yeah, we don't need those. Oh. Anyway.
I'm not gonna eat them.
So because we didn't get to
camera.
talk about this message from 2 weeks ago, is there anything that
Oh, okay.
during our conversation last week that you guys want to?
Oh my goodness! Now you're bringing up last
Wish
week.
I would remember it. As a refresher,
I
it was
couldn't
about
remember
praying.
the microphone. What makes you think I can remember?
I'm just trying to get us back on.
Get back on
track.
cookies, man. Well, we went from a garden show, then we went to our food segment.
Yeah.
And now we are. Oh, well. This is a reminder, we have, I mentioned this yesterday, but yeah, we bought a homemade ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doggy, you guys are going to have to come over. Because we got to stop eating that stuff, or I'm never.
Yeah, you may have started the workouts, but they've stopped.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
Limited
I'm
success.
I'm just maintaining at the
Yeah.
moment. Anyway, how much time do you think we have left on this?
Oh no.
We're getting pretty close.
I don't know. I don't know. I
No,
can't see.
it's not flashing, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you guys a little secret now, just because it's the podcast, just because you're here, and I had no intention of doing this, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just tell him. So here's the deal. No, these last 2 messages, they actually cover a couple of ideas, right? Last Sunday was about prayer.
Mhm.
This Sunday, although it looked like it was about comfort and whatever, it was actually about reaching people. So, where are 2 concepts that we talk about often where those 2 things might fall into play in relationship to Compass Church? Anybody?
More.
Thank you, Tracy. Yeah.
Closer.
Okay.
Stronger, closer.
Stronger.
Yeah. So, what I'm doing is a secret message series
Ha-ha.
on More Stronger, Closer. All right.
All right.
Sneaky, sneaky.
I know, right? It's because it's about, truthfully, every message should have a little of some of that in
Yeah.
all of them. So I'm trying to do that. But if I had said, I already know this, I saw it a little bit last year. And even though I always say, I say these things all the time, and then some people still like, oh, that's cool, I hadn't thought of that before. And I was like, I've said it 30 times. But it's just we don't, it takes a while to process certain concepts. And if I had said, so today, we're going to talk about closer. Most of our crew who knows that stuff and has heard it are going to kind of tune out
Yeah.
a little.
Mhm.
Oh, I know
Oh,
this
no.
one. I hope everybody else will. I know this one. All right. Sneaking it around. But I've ruined it now for you guys.
So now you don't have to pay attention next Sunday.
Except to figure out which one.
Notice.
Right. We will still this.
Hey. All right. Well, okay. What else, guys, before we wrap this one up?
Oh.
I wish
the message before then was on John 3:16 for church on the green.
There you go.
Very clever parts. Following Jesus.
Which says,
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life.
yes.
Yeah, very, very nice. Very good. Good segue and also part of the theme.
Yeah.
John 3:16, prayer, and see, I also didn't do it in the normal order.
Mm-hmm.
More, stronger, closer. I'm like in the second half of closer.
Yeah.
Prayer is part of closer to God. But anyway, thanks for sharing that, Bob. Thanks for remembering that. John 3:16 for sure. What else before we go? I should put a clip of the very first podcast where you said something and just click it in
Yeah.
from day one.
Here's what I have to say.
So more, you guys tell me, what is that about? Do you know? What do I mean when I say we want to develop more followers of Jesus Christ?
Well, by sharing the word, the gospel with people, hoping to. I think it's more than just a single answer. I mean, obviously we want to grow our congregation, but I mean, it's not just about that. It's just bringing more people to Christ.
Yeah,
more people.
Yeah, don't feel on the spot. I mean, you're not graded today.
I'm not. Whew, man.
that you know.
Man, that was just so powerful. It's what a powerful word, Tracey White.
Yeah.
I'm really curious as to what that's going to be.
I wish I had more work for myself is what I just did. I don't edit these things. Well, anyway, I'll edit that part out that I said I was going to do that. Right.
Out of all of the, how many? Couple hundred? What episodes?
In like the 160s.
160s? How many have you edited? Like stuff?
Well, not many.
Right.
Usually, as I say, any editing, to add something isn't that big a deal,
Right.
but I try and cut things out.
Yeah.
It's also not that big of a deal, but I would just rather let it roll. But if we say something like, "Oh, we should put a picture right here," well, I need to put a picture right there, right? Otherwise, we would.
See, now you're stuck.
Yeah, I'm
now
kinda
there's
stuck.
some editing to do.
I know where that is.
Yeah.
I'll find that right.
Oh, it
away.
is flashing low. I don't know how long it's been flashing low.
That's okay. No big deal.
Sounds like we're at perfect timing.
We're at perfect timing, and so Tracey White, man, we love you. We
Love
are
you
praying
guys.
for you. This is Tracey's last podcast with us as a regular. He'll be an irregular later. Maybe we'll have you. We'll pipe you in from somewhere. I don't
There
know.
we go.
But anyway, no sad words tonight, but just that we love you, man. We're glad you've been a part of this. In fact, even this room and all of these things are a result of you and your family being generous to Compass Church. So God's going to bless you for it. You've been a blessing to us. And so that's what I
Y'all
would
been a
say.
blessing to us, for sure.
Well, all right, friends, before we get too misty here, let me just say we meet somewhere in the world every single week. Usually you can find us online at Compass Church Colorado on Facebook. And you can discover more at compassdenver.com. We'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right, friends, final words.
I love you guys and love everyone out there.
Likewise. And likewise.
This has been great because he is great.
Grace to you and peace. That is all we have for tonight. And we are out.
Yeah, there you
Now
go.
we're out. Cookie Monster.